All right. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Mama's Confidence with Dad's Invited. My name is Jessica A. Walker of the JohnResearchInstitute.com, and today I am so excited because I have Kat from Kat Course Creations, right? Am I saying that correctly?
It is Kat the Course Builder.
Kat the Course Builder. I knew I was missing something. I was like, wait a minute, there's a piece that's missing. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do.
Sure. So I'm Katherine Dunn Ilonga, and I help people to build, launch, and teach courses, profitable courses. And that's what I've been doing for a very long time. I have a master's degree in instructional design and teaching with technology. I also have an MBA, and I've been doing this work for more than 15 years now. And so I just got off a call with my mastermind group, and we get together, we learn sales funnels, and we talk business and how to actually build your business around course assets.
Awesome. So I also have my co-host here who's up at the upper corner. So go ahead and introduce yourself and what it is that you do.
I didn't know I was going to be a co-host. Let me just be honest. I just want to see if my mic works. So hi.
Hi.
So introduce yourself.
I'm doing that right now. I apologize. My name is Esther L., and I'm with Urban Asset Protection. We help minority businesses build from the ground up, and then we really teach them how to separate their social from their EIN to obtain true business credit, which is usually net 30 vendor credit accounts, so that they do not go into debt trying to obtain loans, and they can do it out of pocket while they're actually obtaining funds from their clients, and they have that cushion to pay the invoice. So that's
fantastic.
So she will be here and asking questions here and there if she has any, but let's dive right in. So Kat, you're the course creator, and how did you get started in all of this? What began this journey?
Well, I started probably way back many moons ago. I started out, I was a journalist. I was an editor. And so I just had a natural curiosity about things. I love to write and talk to people and find out what was, just be nosy, basically. And I took those skills into the corporate world, and I began doing corporate training and sponsorship development and those sorts of things. And I've always sort of been in some sort of teaching or educational role, whether it was in corporate or nonprofit or whatever it is. And I started traveling all around the country, basically teaching people how to teach what they know, teaching people on any variety of topics. And I decided that all the traveling was just a bit much. It really was a bit much. And I was behind the scenes, and it was just craziness. And I decided that if I ever wanted to have a life, I was going to have to get off the road, even though a large part of my income was built around being in front of people, right? So as I started working with more clients, and they were, things were getting more demanding for me, I was like, you know what? I see these people over here, and they're creating courses, and they get to sit at home. Like, how do I do that right there? Like, I want to do that. You know what I mean? Or at least do some sort of hybrid of that, right? So I started getting more into the actual creation of the courses, and then I started getting pretty good at it, but I wanted to be excellent at it. So I went back to school and got a degree in instructional design and teaching with technology, and really kind of the rest is history. And I've been building, launching, teaching courses pretty much ever since.
So how do you see speakers utilizing courses? Because for me, I understand, I get the correlation just naturally makes sense, right? You're able to go out and speak to more audiences because you have the courses on the back end. Number one, you can sell them while you're there speaking to the audience, and then have that as a secondary source of income as an addition to the speaking gig. But when you're out and you're speaking to low income populations and things to that effect, you'll also have a way to generate some income aside from that when you want to go and speak for free. But tell me some of the different ways that you become while you were speaking?
Sure. So speakers in particular are close to my heart because that was what I did for such a long time. Just the mainstay of my business was speaking, right? And so I understand the rigors of that, and I understand because I was on the road 5 days a week. I was out on Sunday and literally back Friday night for weeks at a time. And so I understand that. I understand waiting for the next phone call to see when your next gig is going to be. I understand that dynamic, that whole piece of it. And so, and you know, just what it takes to be able to stand in front of people and train 8 hours, 6 hours, however long it is, days at a time. It is really rigorous, right? And so speakers are like natural fits for having an extension of their business where they are, instead of doing a one-to-one teaching, they're doing one-to-many, right? So if you're able to do one-to-many, then you can work much more efficiently and you're actually making more money because you're not spending as much, because time really is money. And so you're not spending as much time. You're able to literally be on the beach somewhere in Florida or California, right?
Yeah, right.
Somewhere, and people are buying your courses. They're buying your courses. They're, you're supporting them, and you're sipping on something fruity. So I really, I don't see where that's a bad thing. And speakers in particular are natural fits for this, because they're not afraid to speak in front of people. They're not afraid to you don't have to convince them to to be in front of people teaching what they know. So it totally makes perfect sense. I think we're frozen.
Katherine, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, good. I had all these mic issues. It was like the mic issue from hell. So anyway, so while she's rebooting, it might be some issues on her end. I had a question because I really appreciated what you said when you stated that I was a social worker for 17 years. And out of those 17 years, I did 12 years of actually on the road, seeing clients in their house. And when I took ownership of this new position, what I found was I was in Thailand and I had a client, and the client called me and I was able to take the call and keep working. So I like that point that you said. I was just curious. You were going into detail and you were going to say something about the whole entire process of making sure that, I guess, how can people can buy your courses. That's what you were saying. So until she comes on, what's that about? What are because we weren't really clear. What are your courses about?
Yeah. So my courses are about courses, right? So what I do is I teach people how to teach what they know how to do already. All right. So, hey, Jessica, welcome back.
Sorry about that. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
So my courses are about teaching courses, how to build courses to people just like yourself, people who are in business, people who say, you know what, I want another income stream. I want another revenue stream for my business. I want to be a stay-at-home mom. I'm tired of being on the road, whatever it is.
Or I just want to get paid, right? Because speaking of this, you get booked and they're free.
I want to get paid. I want to quit my job. Exactly. I want to replace my income. And this is a great way to do it because the price point, like you can sell 1 million like little ebooks for $4.99 a piece and hope somebody buys them so you can have lunch money next week, right? Or you can sell a course for $200 or $300, or $400. A course I just launched was $500. The next level was $800, and the next level was $1,300, right?
Exactly.
So I've got 10 people to buy my course, and that's over $10,000 on. And where am I? I'm sitting here doing an interview.
Exactly.
So I teach people how to get free by using what they already know. It's not like you got to go out and get a degree. Use what you already know to build additional revenue for yourself.
So it's funny. I was just telling Esther this the other day, or actually yesterday, that it really just burns my biscuits.
My business coach.
Yeah, it burns my biscuits when people have like all this knowledge and all this information in their heads, and they just know, they're spitting it out like crazy, but they don't have a course. They don't have even an ebook, just an ebook. I understand that's just a small income, but still, that's a building block, right? They don't have an ebook. They don't have a website. I'm like, oh my gosh, it just drives me crazy, drives me nuts. So anyhow, so back to you. Now, how did you get started building all of this, or how do you balance? Let me just ask that question. How do you balance being a mom, being a wife as well? Correct? You're married.
I am.
Yes, being a mom, being married, because that's another job, as well as holding down a business. How do you balance it all?
Don't sweat the small stuff. Get help where you can. The things that you can outsource it. If I could outsource being a wife at times, I probably
Me too, honey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we get real? But
no, we can get real.
Right. So the things that you cannot outsource, okay, that you have to be there for, then you've got that. There's no compromise on that, right? So
exactly.
Time that you spend with your family, there's not a lot of compromise on that. But I can get a babysitter, right? I can outsource some of that time. I can get a housekeeper to come in once a week and help me with the house because I've got a business to run. So I can't scrub baseboards, once I don't have time. Not that I don't want to. I would love to scrub a baseboard, but I just don't. If somebody else can do that, I can be generating money. I can be doing revenue generating activities and let somebody else do something that they can replace me, so get help. I get help. I use, Where
are some of the resources you can offer to us, or places you can get help from that you can, like a virtual assistant or find, I know there's.
Start closer than that. Network with other moms. Don't be in a pigeonhole because solopreneurs, that's not cute. I know that, people throw around that term solopreneur. That's not cute. Nobody want to do this by themselves. And if you are trying to do it by yourself, you're going to get burned out. You're not going to have all the resources you need because you only know what you know. So you need to be able to bounce things off of one another, give each other support. And hey, you watch the kids while I go to this meeting. I'll watch the kids, get your family in on the act. Make sure they understand. They don't have to understand your business, but understand I'm going to be leaning on you because I'm elevating. All right. So I may need you to watch the kids on a Saturday. Yes, I'm home, but I'm working for a few hours. I need some dedicated time. So you don't even go to Fiverr. Go to your family, your friends, let them know what you're doing. They don't understand everything you're doing. They don't have to, they're not supposed to. But hey, I'm gonna need you to watch, do this, do that.
No, I get it. Okay, so really quick, tell us a couple of the major tips you have for building a course. And you can feel free to go in on any piece of that. Just some of the essential things that we need within a course, or really truthfully, how to promote it. Let's start with that. What's one of the best ways that you've seen in promotion? Do you suggest doing Facebook ads or Twitter ads, or?
No, stay away from Facebook. It's dangerous in there,
Oh, wow.
Unless you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to throw money in the wind. And then you're going to get discouraged, and then you're going to be like, this isn't for me. And you're going to be out. So stay away. Okay.
No, I get it. That face was like real.
Yeah. And understand that there are no shortcuts to this thing. Understand that you're going to have to put some work into this thing. Understand that you're going to have to build organically, but there are some awesome ways to do that. Now, when it comes to building a course, the first thing I tell my clients and my mentees, I have a mentorship group. I tell them, listen, courses that don't sell are not sexy. Y'all can build a course all day long, but it's not cute when the thing don't sell. Okay. So don't worry about, oh, I want to build an awesome course. If I build it, they will come. No, if you build it, you're going to have cobwebs and big old bats flying around because nobody's going to be there to buy your course.
I get it. Yeah.
It's true. It's the truth. Okay. So I said, Kat, I want to build a course. Kat, I want to build a course. Hold on. Slow down. Okay. Slow down, Sledge. Listen, first, you need to build an audience. You need people who are going to buy from you. You need people who know, trust, and like you. No, oh, nobody knows you. Nobody likes you. Okay. That's going to be a problem.
Well, see, my thing about that is find people like you that like you, find people that are like similar, that, have some of the same type of, nuances, activities, interests, and all that good stuff. And then they like you.
Yeah. Let me add something to that. Mm-hmm. Yes. No, trust, like, and they're going to be similar to you in a lot of ways.
Exactly.
However, and please, and I'm not saying you as in Jessica, I'm saying you in general.
Yeah, no.
If you are broke, you don't want a bunch of broke people.
Oh yeah, no. Not saying that at all.
Right. But I need to make it clear because sometimes people feel like, oh, no, broke attracts broke. You don't want that. All right. So, I tell them, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. All right. So,
yeah.
So figure out who you want to attract. Okay. And who you want to attract may not be you right now. I just need people to understand it may not be you right now. Doesn't mean it's not going to be you. But if you are trying to attract people who are not going to
pay you,
who are not, yeah, you want to attract people who are going to pay you.
Their investment in their own worth.
You want people who are going to pay you. You don't want people who are like, can you take $10 this week and I hit you on that 50 in a couple weeks. That's not the business, right? So in order to start attracting the audience that you want, you have to start building something that will attract the people that you want. And that might not be you right this second. You might still be in the building phase. You might still be, but that doesn't mean that you can't attract the right audience.
No, I totally get it. Well, let me put it this way. Maybe you should attract people that want to be in the same place that you want to be, or or higher. Let's put it that way. People like you that are like you. I mean, in the sense of people that really want to succeed. Exactly. That want to succeed in business, that want to take their business to the next level, or even just if they're still building, like you said, they want to build an audience and all that good stuff. You still have that same that mentality of an upper level. But I totally get what you're saying as well, because I've had some clients that have been in that mindset, and even some of our speakers that have been in that mindset. And I'm like, you can't, you won't thrive. Your business will become bankrupt if you continue on this way. So I totally get it. So what are some of the tips that you have in generating an audience, and really just how did you build yours? Because I know you're on Periscope, so let's kind of dive into the live stream of that. How did you really start to build your audience? What are some of the things that you?
Okay, so I'm old school. I'm Generation X. You look like a millennial. You look like a millennial down there. Hey, millennials. Shout out to the millennials. It's all good. Shout out to the millennials.
I am.
Right,
37. 37. I'm millennial. Right. Cabbage Patch doll. Okay, I'm a meet out.
I've got 10 years on you. I'll be 47 this year. Okay.
What? Girl, you look good. Oh my goodness.
It's the wig and the good moisturizer. Okay. Trust me. All right.
Well, look, do you have a wig line as well? We need to look into investing in that. No,
girl, sell that hair, honey.
Yeah, you gotta keep that bang down. Keep that bang down. But listen, shout out to the millennials. But when I was coming through all of this, it was old school. It was the old school way. Get out there, network, let people know what you do, get involved, shake hands, kiss babies, all that good stuff, right? Well, now we have something called live stream. Now we've got this amazing thing called live streaming. You've got Periscope, you have Facebook Live, you have YouTube Live, and lots of other things that are coming down the pike. It is by far the best way, the easiest, the fastest way to turbocharge your audience, okay? You can get on Periscope, you can get on live streaming and build your audience very quickly, very easily if you know what to do. Now, if you get on there, you don't know what you're doing, it's like with anything else, go on at your own risk, okay? But you can get on there, and if you have a plan, you have a platform, you have value to add to your audience, you can go on there with a strategy of building out your audience, and it can happen extraordinarily quickly. I'll give you an example. I got on Periscope not to talk about course building. That was not what I came on here for.
Huh, really?
Yeah, really. Me and my business bestie, who lives in Houston, she comes to me one day and she was like, hey, have you ever heard of Periscope? And I'm like, no, girl, ain't nobody heard no Periscope. And I don't really, I'm not, something else I got to learn how to do. No, I ain't gonna have time for that. But she was like, we can get on there and we can talk about the kids and we can talk about doing this and doing that. And I said, okay, well, that might be fun. It'll get me away from work and it'll give me something, fun to do. And that's what we did. We got on there and we started talking about being wives and mothers. We even did like some little tours around the city and showed people all these cute things they can do, couples with your husband and blah, blah, blah. Well, as we were on there, we would kind of sprinkle in conversations of what we do every day. And so people were like, that's all cute and everything about the zoo, but what's this about this course building thing you do? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, but what about
right?
the zoo? We're going to go to the Children's Museum. And they were like, they were like, how do I build a course? And
how do I make money, right?
I really had to kind of take my own advice.
Yeah.
And I preach, you've got to listen to your audience. You have to listen to them. And as I know that you have to listen to them, I said, okay, well, what do y'all want to know? Right? I didn't even think it was going to be a thing. I really didn't. I was just like, okay, well, this, whatever. And as I understood and I watched the market and I understood where trends were going, I said, okay, well, if I'm going to do it, and I'm a natural business person, I'm an entrepreneur at heart anyway. So I'm trained to look for problems and provide solutions. I'm trained to do that. Like I have a trained ear for that, right?
I'm the same way. I'm the same way. Yeah, exactly.
So you're the same way, right? So when you get trained that way, it's like, okay, wait a minute. More than one person has this problem. So, okay, so let me provide a solution. And as I started testing, so you have to test some things, right? So as I started testing and beta testing and doing some things, I realized it was like a thing. So I decided to come on Periscope, and I changed my handle. I got away from we even had a handle. It's called Wife Life Today. Wife Life Today on Periscope. We wanted to talk about being wives. It was corny. I know it was corny.
No, it's cute. I like it.
It was kind of corny, but we had fun with it, right? We had fun with it. So we got rid of Wife Life Today. She started teaching people about HR stuff because that's what she does in her business. And I started teaching people the course building stuff because that's what I do in my other life, right? And it just, when I tell you exploded, I'm averaging 100 people a week in my follower list. 100 people a week.
I got to get back on Periscope because I started, but then off. I got
100 people a week, and I'm almost at 2 million hearts. I was at the 1 million mark in like 8 weeks. It took me like 8 weeks. And I'm almost so I haven't been doing it that long. I want you to know, I haven't been on live stream that long.
So your strategy is every single day. Your strategy is every single day in the morning.
My strategy is, what I did was I took what I know offline and I brought it online. And that's one of the reasons I've been able to grow so quickly, because I already knew a lot of strategies, and I just took what I knew and I said, okay, well, let me bring it over here and see what happens. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, okay, well,
it's consistency. I mean, you did every single day.
No, not
okay. Twice a week.
No, not every day. Now I do.
Were you originally twice a week? You got on twice a week, or whenever you felt like it?
Not whenever I felt like it. I was definitely consistent, but I wasn't on every day. I would say probably maybe 3 days, 4 days. I kind of ramped up as I ramped up and I got more frequent as I understood more of what my audience wanted and needed from me. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, well, they've got to get to know me, and they can't know you if you're not there.
Well, my question to you is, so I have 2 social media experts. When you said about the Facebook thing, my first social media expert, Joe Hornsby, he blew up 2,000 fans, but he was the original web developer for PayPal. He knows them personally. And so he gave me a lot of marketing strategies. So what I noticed, and then too, being a social worker, is the first thing I did, I worked for the jail, just going in, talking to people who aren't nearly familiar with you, is I start telling stories about myself. So I noticed that you and your friend started talking about personal experiences that people could identify with. My question to you is, with those personal experiences that people could identify with, how many of those followers from your when you changed your handle, all of those people who knew you as the wife, knew you going to the zoo, could personally identify with you, did you then transfer over to your new handle?
That is an awesome question. Very good question. And the answer is 0. The audience I have now, there are probably 2 people out of all those people that came over.
Great question. Wow.
Maybe 2. It is when I tell you completely new audience, and that was one of my fears a little bit. I was like, I don't want to lose the people I have, I don't want to lose the people. So it was a little bit of an emotional decision, because you feel like you're abandoning the people that, were there, and you're like, and I was like, okay, well, maybe they'll come over. But being a business person, I knew I was prepared for the reality that they probably wouldn't come, because a lot of them weren't following me for business advice on how to build courses.
Yeah, totally different audience. Totally. And
every now and again, some of my older folks will come in, and I'll be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
They'll say, hey, they'll come in and say hi, but then they'll go out.
They're not interested. Yeah. So is your key to your success being very specific? Like, because you only deal with courses? Do you think that's?
I do. I think it's really important to niche down, distinguish yourself in the marketplace. That's one of the things that I teach, is how to distinguish yourself. There are a lot of people out here. A lot of people do a lot of things. And how do you stand out from the crowd? And one of the things is you have to be consistent in your message. You're like, and you know, some of my mentees are like, but Kat, you know, I know how to bake cookies and I can sew and I can, you know, I can do all of this. And I'm like, listen, that's cute and everything, but listen, what you want to do? You want to make money or you want to have a hobby? You know, which one you want to do? You know what I mean? I mean, either way, it's no judgment. It's all good, but you have to decide what do people want from you that's going to get you paid. Once you decide that it's baking cookies and because you're awesome at it and you know, that comes across, then the fact that you can sew a dress is irrelevant. Totally irrelevant, and save it for, I don't know, save it for Sunday dinner.
Yeah. You totally had a cat. That was a cat moment. I was like, he was like, listen. And I was like, that's it. That's what I get when I get to, when I talk to some of my clients, I'm like, look, okay. Do you want to make money or do you want to help, you know, or do you want to just stay stagnant and be like, I don't know. I can't even think of what the word I use, but anyway, I just go off on a tangent. I'm just like, look. You know, it's like stopping your tracks, really assess what it is you're trying to do here. You're either trying to up-level your business or you're just trying to stay where you are, stay comfortable. Those are the two options. Which I'm fine with either way because, you know, go rah. You know, I'm all for helping a brother and a sister out. But at the same time, you're paying me. So you might want to get some, you know, some results from your money. I'm just saying. So anyway, I know you have to go. So go ahead. Yeah, I was just going to you. I know you had another question. So go ahead. And then we're going to wrap up and let Kat.
You can't go yet. I have 21 questions.
Yeah, right. She got money to make. She got a business to run.
Okay, I feel you. Me too. It's so fun. So, anywho, my last question is: when you said stay out of Facebook, I completely feel you, man. Because of this, I was going to think of a really high tech word like concur, and then I was like, I feel you.
No, this is a real show. You be real on this show.
So anywho, for the people who want to venture out with Facebook ads, because they do work. If I didn't have Joel Hornsby and Vickens Moscova, I wouldn't even know about a hashtag. My post would be sitting there stagnant. I mean, they spend at least an hour a day talking to me and about how to get ahead. But the point is, how did you, like, just two simple tips to make your Facebook ad pop for those who are either experienced or want to do it?
Or if you don't use Facebook ads, what do you use? I
use them for certain things. One is I make sure that I use the voice of my audience. And what do I mean by that? I mean, you're like, what do you mean by that?
Well, you know what? I actually have an example for that. I have an example of that. So I had a meeting with someone that's going to help me with my nonprofit, and she works at the, we call it the welfare office, right? So here locally, so I Googled it and I put in welfare office in the city. I'm not going to say city. I'll leave it out. The city, right? Nothing came up. And I'm like, it's the welfare office. How come it's not? But what I had to do is I had to put social services office. Yes,
you did, because they wouldn't use welfare office since 1992, girl.
Exactly. But for me, that's what I resonate. So really, I explained that to her. She said, you know what, we really need to put that in somewhere, because you're right. A lot of people might be searching for welfare office. They're not searching for social services. So when you talk to your audience on Facebook, use the words they're going to use. And that's like seeing a light bulb. That was an aha moment for me. I was like, it's like, okay, so when I do my marketing, I have to use what they would use. So anyway, that was a good example. So
that was an awesome example, because I'm Gen X. So there's certain things that are going to resonate with Gen X women. Right? Like there's certain things we understand, like Mr. Telephone Man. I know what I mean? A nougat bar, or whatchamacallit. I know you sit down there looking like, what is that?
No, I know, because my dad is 75 and my mom is
Gen X is not down.
No, they not. Okay. That's why I know what a whatchamacallit is.
Whatchamacallit? Now I think in 1984, something like that, 1982. I remember when the whatchamacallit came out. Right, they feel good, right? So so there's certain things that are culturally that we're able to connect with, right? And so for example, I just put out one recently that says something along the lines of, have you been to lots of courses and now you're angry, you're confused, you're upset because you went to this course and you got nothing out of it? And I was talking their language, right? And I'm talking their language, right? That I'm hitting a pain point. So two things that I do, I hit their pain points and I speak their language, because their language is my language, but I have to make sure I'm speaking like that. So if you have somebody helping you with your ads or whatever it is, make sure that it's still your voice that people hear, because that's who they're going to connect to.
That is really, yeah, I'm meeting with him at 4:00 today, and he is a little older than me. And just to bust Jessica out, I live in Oakland, California, because I'm going to let you go. I live in Oakland, California, and it speaks to being relevant too. So we used to have Festival of the Lake. Shout out to everyone who listens to this in Oakland. It's a bunch of Black people got together and we would drive around, listen to music. It was just beautiful to see your people out there. But the point is, I'm talking to Jessica and she moved away. She was like, they don't have Festival of the Lake anymore? That was 1991, Jessica, when we had Festival of the Lake. It is 2016. No, they don't have it. So that just shows me right there that I need to run separate ads, some for people who aren't relevant, some for people who are relevant, and then some for people who speak the language of the 30 seconds. So, Joe, he was telling me Nike runs about 12 different ads simultaneously. So for a budget of $5, and then too, what I noticed when you go into Facebook, they said, oh, your post had reached 500 people, but your post might have had 20,000 different hashtags to go and reach that audience. You can't put that and translate that into an actual ad. So thinking of those words, you just really cleared it up for me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm so happy. I'm happy about that. Yeah, so, because I talk to some of my clients, people that's paying me, they don't get it. They're like, I'm like,
you got the wrong clients. That's all. We just
need different clientele, millennials. Okay.
Clearly.
Well, thank you so much, Kat. I really appreciate your time. We're going to be working together soon. So, I look forward to having you on again and in a different capacity.
What's your website?
I'm sorry. That's okay. No worries.
No problem. It is catthecoursebuilder.com. And if you want, there's some information in there. I give away free stuff all the time. So if you want to sign up for Kat's free stuff, you can do that right on the website and check it out. And I'd be happy to come back anytime. Hopefully I'll be working with the both of you. You all have been awesome.
Thank you so much. All right. So Kat, go ahead and type in your website address there in the chat room, and we'll go ahead and end this. So thank you so much for watching this episode of Mama's Confidence Dad's Invited. I hope you really truthfully got some value out of this. You can go ahead and tweet me on Twitter at Josh Speaks, and then definitely check out catcoursebuilder.com to find out more information about Kat and Urban Asset. Go ahead and give your website here as well. And so we look forward to seeing you guys next.